do it.
Welcome to a bowl that was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Is that a Star Wars reference?
Yeah.
I can never tell with him.
It's a space bowl.
I don't get it.
Space
How
bowl
come if it's
Dude
in the past of technologies in the future?
It's a space bowl.
For this podcast, we have partnered with Turtle Beach.
Oh, yeah.
You can see their fine Sand Trooper headset right here.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, the Sand Trooper headset is the official gaming headset for Star Wars Battlefront, which is why we're playing Battlefront. Also, Battlefront came out today, and it's awesome and fun, so we're playing.
Another reason why we're playing Battlefront.
The Star Wars Battlefront Sand Trooper gaming headset is a universal gaming headset, which is pretty nice when it comes to gaming headsets. It works on Xbox One, PS4, PC, and even mobile. They're easy to use. You just got one cord, plug it right in, and you're good. Although, just be aware that if you're going to use it on Xbox One, you do need one of those newer controllers that has a headset jack.
Sure.
But otherwise, works easy, which is something I appreciate. A lot of like high-end headsets have a lot of like preamps and cords and stuff. I appreciate a headset you can just plug in and use right away.
And it goes.
The headsets are individually numbered and come with little stormtrooper faces. Where are those little guys?
Yeah,
right
rocker
here.
panels. Look at those rocker panels.
So yeah, you can actually change out the plates to be Rebel or
Are
Imperial
you dark side
or Stormtrooper face.
or green side?
These are just both. They're both dark side. Stormtrooper
Green?
and Sand Trooper.
I don't know. I
Or
think episode
dark.
7 might have something to say about that.
Oh, you're right about that, actually.
Bodega Louie.
That's not his name.
Louis.
His name is
So-
John Boyega.
Yeah, I know.
They're currently only
did I
available at Best Buy for $100.
Two,
So
three, 4, 5.
please check them out.
$100?
Yeah, $100. And thanks again to Turtle Beach for sponsoring this podcast.
Gracias.
They're William Plotter.
So if you wanna play Battlefront in style, please check out the official Sand Trooper Battlefront headset. All right, so Battlefront, here we are. What do you guys think so far?
I haven't played
This
it.
is my
you, it's
first
dumb.
time playing the PC version.
I hate that I spent $70 on this game that looks exactly like Star Wars, and I can do all sorts of things that I've always wanted to do in Star Wars.
I don't like that tone.
I kind of told myself that I would never in this podcast be like, hey, there's a game out. What do you guys think? So I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay,
Next topic.
good stuff. Can we talk about Fallout?
Yeah, let's talk about Fallout.
Cool.
Adam actually found a really interesting post on Reddit.
Yeah.
Some
Cool guy.
I'm not gonna say
cool guy.
I'm not gonna say he's a total idiot. It's just more like his perspective might be a little narrow.
Yeah.
But here's basically a block that illustrates a point he wrote with a lot more words. But here's the thrust of it. Tilde.
Yeah, hit tilde.
Have you never? Never mind.
I thought I how do I get out of this weapon? There we go. Ugh.
Just buttons, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's see here. Don't have the username on hand. Let me bring that up here.
Gracias.
Assuming my
what are you
Reddit
waiting
app loads and my phone doesn't reboot.
For people.
Come on, baby. All right. Sexy male nurse. I'm glad I looked that up.
Yeah.
Reddit user Sexy Male Nurse wrote basically saying, like, shouldn't Bethesda have tried harder to make Fallout 4 different? Oh boy, that's the wrong doc. Oh, Jesus.
Well, I mean, I can while you find it.
So, no, I got it.
Okay.
So he writes, or she, I'm assuming he, quote, it occurred to me the other night while picking a lock that the lock picking system hasn't changed in Bethesda RPG since I played Fallout 3.
Oh my gosh.
It's the exact same in other Elder Scrolls games as well.
Oh,
the
no.
hacking hasn't changed either. In fact, aside from minor tweaks to Fallout 4, conversations, VATS improvement, and weapon repair, Bethesda has not done anything to innovate either series in the last at least 3 Fallout games. Even the Pip-Boy menu has remained unchanged. So, first of all, Obsidian made New Vegas.
I mean, the engine was made by Bethesda, so sure. Right?
Yeah, it was.
What
but-
was? Sorry, what?
The engine was made by
game engine.
Bethesda.
Oh, sure, yeah, but so.
Droid.
Oh, you're playing Droid Run?
No,
No.
this is just
That droid reveals people on the map.
Oh, okay. So there's some easy like you're wrong statements. The biggest one I can think of is the whole like city management constructing like Sim City aspect to it,
Right, but
where
this-
you can connect all these cities and give them power and build them defenses and.
That's not news. You can do that in Skyrim.
No, you couldn't.
In
Oh,
the
wait, I
DLC, you could build a house. Yeah.
you could have a house, one home. You couldn't build an entire city that people would live in and give them
just
food
trying
and
to-
water.
I'm trying to illustrate it.
No, I get it. Also, I don't know, Adam. You had a loaded up response ready to go.
It's not really loaded up.
I love every time you end like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
You gotta stretch out first.
I was having a really fun moment last night. I was playing I've been playing the game in stretches of like 4 or 5 hours at a time, and this came from us playing it was Black Ops 3, and just how that single player hasn't changed for a long time.
It's just the same old.
And it's like it's getting worse to the point where the game just plays for you. They're like, okay, your AI will do the job for you, and the single player hasn't evolved. What I think Bethesda has done really well is as they scaled back the RPG aspect of said game, what we're talking about, Fallout.
Fallout.
It's become actually like a really good first-person shooter. Where, yeah, please take over. Sorry.
Can we do that with a controller like
Yeah,
this?
go ahead. Yeah. So like, I was having a really fun single player experience by just having this huge open world. Because I remember I was reading this guy's thing. He was saying like, "What's the point of the open world?
Yeah.
There's no
Play
point."
different mode.
I'm like, I love that I can just go anywhere and I can climb anything, and I could get into a firefight or I can't, and there's really no set path. I'm just kind of wandering. And so, I've never really the first Bethesda game I played was Oblivion. So I haven't really been. I haven't been a long time.
So you're not hardcore.
I probably am not.
not hard. Nope.
I know a lot of people
Not allowed to comment on it if you haven't played Morrowind.
Not hardcore.
I know a lot of people hold up Morrowind as like, look at this RPG, it's amazing. But what I've been noticing is that just Bethesda games are becoming like just really
Approachable?
good. Yeah, I guess like just good games that have a first person or third person aspect to it. I guess I don't know. Like they've just been making a really fun single player experience. And like because I'm the shooting mechanics have gotten better, it's starting to feel more like the. I don't know. Like I'm starting to compare it to games like Destiny and
I see what you mean.
Call of Duty and things like that, where I'm like, look at them making a good single-player first-person shooter experience, even though you don't have to play as a first-person shooter. But that's how I'm choosing to play it. So while people are complaining that like they're failing to make it a good RPG, like I like what they're doing with it. I don't know, and it's like and a lot of other people are too, and the sales numbers are showing that.
So I mean,
So-
obviously, it's one thing to just get comfortable with something and then just do it over and over and over again. But when you get to the number 4 in a game, are you looking for a new game?
Well, see, that's
altogether?
interesting because somebody in the comments of this thread compared it to Assassin's Creed, which I thought was both right and wrong. The fourth Assassin's Creed game was nothing like the first one.
Yeah, because of the pirates.
Yeah, it completely changed game type. It was suddenly like a sailing fuck around game.
One part
One part of
aspect
the game, yeah.
Not even that. Like the
Well, I mean, the big-
on foot stuff was nothing like Assassin's Creed 1 still. Like the assassinations you had to do.
Yeah.
It was like go kill this guy and it'd
Right.
just be a dude standing in a field.
If I plucked
and you
a
just run up
dude-
to him and stab him and be like, "Good, you're a good assassin."
if I plucked a dude out of 1972 and I sat him down next to a copy of Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 4 and I showed him the traversal stuff on foot, he'd go, "Oh, those look the same." That's what I'm saying. Like,
Sure.
if you want to get nitty gritty with
It both
I'm
has a
like,
man running across buildings.
Oh, I know, but I mean, like from the art direction and the gameplay mechanics, like it's still there.
Well,
It's
yeah, but I
still-
mean, like I don't know if that's necessarily a fair argument.
But it's not.
only
It's not like
because-
Mario 1 and Mario 3 are way more similar in terms of like gameplay. And yeah, I'm getting super reductionist too, but still, it's
Well, but at the same time, though, those have different gameplay mechanics. Like
Yeah.
they evolve the gameplay mechanics.
got a raccoon tail.
I mean, like Fallout, I feel has evolved the gameplay mechanics enough.
You got to use your shield to pick that up.
Especially from Fallout 1 and 2 to Fallout 3. Those are entirely different games.
That was another point I was going to make. If you like Fallout and Fallout 4 doesn't provide a radically new experience, go play Fallout 2.
Oh, well, no, he was.
That'll blow your damn mind.
He went in there and he was talking about some of the mission structures. Like,
Yeah.
he was saying in Fallout 3, he's like, there were a lot of RPG missions where like you didn't shoot everyone, and I think his complaints are actually kind of valid. And a lot of Fallout 4 feels like Skyrim, where
Yeah.
you'll talk to someone and it just comes down to go clear this base, and you just go there and shoot people, which is to me is fun. Because most games are going to get repetitive, and it still keeps it kind of fresh. But then someone else points out in the comment thread, they're like, well, it's like if you just, the game's like 300 hours long if you like want to do everything or whatever. So you're going to run into a lot of those missions, but there are a lot of ones of like gathering and other like kind of more RPG style missions.
Yeah.
So
I played missions where I had to like build beds and build power and like plant a farm.
I feel like that was kind of like a tutorial, but yeah, still.
I mean, yeah, it is a tutorial, absolutely, but it's still an introduction to a different kind of gameplay and a different kind of mode.
Yeah, I'm saying the game is kind of varied, and maybe they didn't do too great of a job if someone is playing it and saying like, oh, I'm just doing the same thing over and over. Because I'm feeling that doing all the Minutemen stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, go recruit these guys, and it's usually, there's ghouls in this building, clear it out. I'm like, okay, I've done this 32 times. So I'm still having fun because I'm leveling up and I'm getting better at different aspects of the game, and then I just go off and do something else for, 4 hours.
Yeah,
So
but did he want an entirely different game, like when he goes from 2 to 3, Fallout 2 to 3?
I think he wanted, like, I hear this a lot, and it's kind of, it's a thread that I heard a lot about Battlefront as well, which is that I want the same experience I used to have. I want that to be better, and then I want this other new thing I didn't even know I wanted. Like, I want to be surprised. And I get that because to me, when I first started playing games, everything was new, everything was brilliant, And like every new kind of game I played would like transport me to a magical world where I couldn't believe somebody was so smart and awesome to make something like this.
You're describing doing heroin for the first time.
Basically, yeah.
You'll never get that
It's chasing
high.
the dragon. But and those games still happen, rarely, but they do. It's just a question of like, okay, you have to understand that once you played something for the first time, and you go back to it, it's not going to be as brilliant. Asking them to come up with something new that's that good again is a little unrealistic.
You know what did that for a lot of people was Demon Souls.
Yeah.
I remember just kind of in our small circle, in our small world, there were a lot of people being like, guys, this game has never existed before. This is all new. And it's like, it has existed.
Oh, yeah.
You just didn't play it.
A lot of really shitty NES RPGs were exactly like that.
Yes, you're the first person to discover Roundabout. Good for you.
Xanadu.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying
The song Roundabout by Yes? Is that what you're referring to?
No, there's a game called Roundabout.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yep.
Remember spinning cars?
Yeah.
It's the future of gaming.
Game of the year.
But I'm saying there are certain types of games. I just remember Demon Souls being the one of like, and people, I remember like threads coming and be like, forget your cookie cutter bullshit. This is a man's game. Like
A man's game.
Like,
hate that shit.
Like tighten your belt, boys, because it's getting real. And you're just like, shut up, just shut up, please shut up.
Yeah, we get it. You'll
it's a
die
video
a lot.
game. You're,
Whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I played Mega Man. Same
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, people have died in wars. You're playing a video game. Chill out. Like, shut up. But regardless, there was this. I remember that. That was people chasing the new dragon. And there's dragons in that game. Whatever.
See, he curses you, and you don't know what the fuck's going on. And you just turn to Crystal, and you're like, fuck this fucking game!
So imagine being a game developer like Bethesda, and you're like, okay, this game was really successful, like really successful. And then we did this other game that was based in fantasy, and it was even more successful. Why would we change anything? Let's just add a Minecraft mode.
Well, oh, you mean for Fallout?
Fallout, yeah.
Fallout.
Well, it wasn't. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, this is sort of the difference between like what James and I talked about with Marvel, where Marvel makes a bunch of movies and make a bunch of money. And it is sort of their prerogative whether or not they want to innovate on the formula and then also make it the like really accessible to everybody, just like everybody else knows Marvel movies, and make it something new and different, like they did with Guardians of the Galaxy, or they make an Ant-Man. And it's the same thing here. Like they know that this game is going to make money. So they're like, well, yeah, just make it, make a couple of little incremental changes, but make it the same thing that everybody else loved.
I still can't think of any other game that's similar to like a Bethesda game that allows you. I know people like
There's a lot that are bad.
No, well, I mean, like I guess I'm thinking from the aspect of like you can pick up almost any object, like or not any object, but there's like just junk everywhere in that game, and you can just spend hours just going through a building, digging through stuff, and I don't know, like the way the general mechanics are. I can't think of any other games that do it even half as good as that. So I don't. It's a tough thing. Like I don't really get critical of Bethesda because I'm like, there's no other game like this.
Well, also
and
it's
it's
a lot
fun
of
for me.
Yeah, also it's fun. I mean, like if the game is fun, I understand the complaining. I do. I actually understand that. It makes sense to me because you're like, no, I want something new and different, and I want to be surprised, like you said, Lawrence. But at the same time, if the game is fun, the game is fun, and they made a fun game that you can play. So like I think that. Sort of like, oh, jeez.
James, you're making my balls
hit
tighten
the
up here.
D-pad, like left or right, you'll...
Oh, that's how you dodge?
Yeah,
Not by
yeah,
actually
sorry.
doing flips?
Yeah, no, there's a baked-in dodge.
Yeah, I was going to say, I kind of like did some self-reflection. And I figured out why Fallout works really well. I mean, also on PC,
my old friend. Staring in the mirror.
What happens if you go on that? You die? No, you're
Nope,
fine.
it's fine.
You got plastic on, you're cool. I did some self-reflection. I'm like, okay, I think I know why I think Fallout works for me. I can play it as a first-person shooter. I like first-person shooters. It's a world I can get lost in, and it has a progression system. Those are like my 3 favorite things in video games, and Fallout does it really well. And they got the aiming mechanics down a lot better than they have in the past.
Coincidentally, millions of other people like all the same things.
I think it does
Adam.
hurt you.
So and that's why the game is so successful. So like again, I can't fault them for not changing things. I mean, like I think at least they didn't make exactly the same game, right? They like obviously all the graphics are much better. The story's different. Like I think it looks different enough, and it took years and years and years to develop. So I mean, I don't know. I still think it's an amazing video game.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not they didn't change enough.
And I really think that the like crafting and city management aspect of it is brilliant. I mean, from a very blunt perspective, you can kind of see what the thinking was. Like people like Minecraft. And people like Fallout.
They said that at their press conference. They're
Yeah,
like,
but-
they're like, we like Minecraft, so we put this in the game.
But it's it's more than just that, because the tagline of the game is "Welcome Home," right? And but yeah, it's on everything. Hashtag I don't know. And like the music and the art style, everything about Fallout 4 makes it seem like a little less bleak, a little more welcoming, a little more hopeful.
Yeah.
Even the main score is kind of uplifting, whereas Fallout 3 was just like shit's all dark.
James called it, right? He said it's like a lot more like Fury Road.
I wouldn't even say that.
Like I'm saying from like an art style, like
There's saturation.
It's brighter.
There is some.
It's
not as
post-apocalyptic,
saturated
but it
as-
doesn't feel so drab.
But
Whereas like DC was just like, ugh, kill me.
But it all kind of adds up, because if the idea of the game is to build and construct and make a new home, I feel like there's a certain kind of cool artistic unity to Fallout 4 that 3 didn't quite have so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bleak and green and brown, and I like that because I like Fallout. But I feel like 4 is when Bethesda's made more of a statement of like, this is our series now, and we're going to take it where we want it to go, instead of just kind of imitating the like bleak, brown, dark, some player choice influence type stuff.
Yeah.
Still, Fallout 2 is just fucking brilliant. If you guys can stomach it, and you're disappointed with Fallout 4, go play 2, especially if you're like a Dark Souls fan. Because if you want a game that will really test your ability to like perceive and work around game systems,
It's very difficult.
yeah, it's super hard.
I was gonna say Wasteland exists.
Yeah, Wasteland 2. I haven't played that one yet, actually. I really want to. See, that's the thing.
That's kind of the modern old
or
Fallout,
like
right?
Pillars of Eternity. If you really like Morrowind, go play that. Or if you miss any of the old like Infinity Engine BioWare games. So that's the thing that bugs me. Like there's choice everywhere.
I was gonna say, reading that thing though, going back to it, it was my mind kept going to like, why would Bethesda go back? Like, why they're gonna keep continuing like what I see the progression of what they're doing. Like they are becoming a more like kind of like they're trying to make a game like Destiny or a game like I don't know. I'm not gonna say they're gonna make Destiny or they're gonna make a game that's like that devoid of content of like single player or anything like that. They're really good at world
DICE
building.
does that.
but-
Boom.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna keep improving on their. I think all they're really focusing on right now is like kind of graphics and engine optimization. And people keep giving shit to the engine, but like I've had a great time with it and it hasn't really crashed. On PC.
better.
Sorry, PC.
Yeah.
I did do a
The interface still drives me nuts, though.
I installed my first mod last night that like it was like a GPU acceleration thing, and the game
I saw that.
The game was running at like 2 times speed, so I was trying to do a lockpick, and it like as soon as you try to turn it, goes so I was just breaking through bobby pins like way too fast. I had to turn it off because the game kept crashing.
Yeah, that seems like a really shitty mod.
I kept getting the
This makes the game run at double speed.
I would end up getting out of the player, and I
not fixed
couldn't
at all.
play as the player anymore, so I had to remove it. But
Yep. I'm waiting for those E and B mods, man.
there's a few.
Already?
Yeah,
Like,
I
is
just
it
wanted
sweet
to.
effects, or is it actually E and B?
I'm not sure.
Boris Vorontsov. Those
Yeah.
Russians, man, they love their
I
math.
saw a couple of those, but then the one I used it for was I got rid of mouse smoothing.
Oh yeah, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
And actually, the mouse feels a lot better in Fallout 4 than it did in Skyrim. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
It's like Fallout 4. I'll give it credit. I couldn't sit down and play Skyrim on a PC without tweaking it first. Fallout 4 is at least like, okay, this feels okay. Whereas Skyrim was just like,
That's what I mean. They're
what is
improving. Like they're. Someone compared. I forgot who it was. Some like PC gamer. Someone was saying like, the way you play Fallout is the way you play Destiny, and like the way I was moving around and running and shooting stuff, I was like, yeah, it kind of feels like Destiny a little bit. It was like a 30 frames per second shooter. Okay, fine. But then playing on PC, I'm just like, I just kind of play however the hell I want. It's kind
Yeah.
of nice. Like now I'm playing stealthy, which is kind of cool.
I haven't done stealth
I don't
yet.
All that's left, I think, is probably for Fallout, and will make that guy more happy, is to make it an MMO. So to make the game that you played, Adam, but into an MMO.
I think they tried
Then
that with Elder Scrolls.
microtransactions, and then they'll
but
hate it.
They didn't
It's too
really
different.
do it with Elder Scrolls.
I don't know if he was looking for that. I think he just wanted
Waffle Stomper.
He does. He wants something new and different, and that is new and different.
No.
Well, Elder Scrolls Online is there though,
Yeah,
and
but it's-
people just kind of like.
It's just
That-
not. Well, it doesn't do anything. Right.
That was that
ouch.
was same and same.
I actually liked Elder Scrolls Online.
You like MMOs though?
I do.
I don't.
I thought it was as good as Skyrim. Skyrim was a single player MMO. They just made it an MMO.
Really?
I don't know. I didn't. But Skyrim just felt kind of flat for me. That's just me though.
Okay.
I understand.
I like Skyrim.
Those probably games of all time. I think one of the cores of it is there's a difference between people who want a video game where it's like, okay, player, here are some mechanics. Here's a challenge. You have to overcome it using your intelligence and your gaming skill.
No.
Fallout is not one of those games. That's more of like, player, we've made a world for you. go forth and fuck around. And sometimes we're gonna like roll the dice poorly, and you're gonna get a skull monster who's just gonna stomp you into paste.
That
Hey,
happens.
that's just the way shit rolls. But just reload your save and keep blurping around and shooting things and looting stuff and eating cake and drinking quantum Nuka-Cola.
I like games.
All of them?
No, I mean I just like games. I like when it's a game.
So you like games with,
I don't
rules.
for the most part. I'm not like I want to boot up Xbox and challenge myself mentally and physically. Like generally, that's not how I feel. There's a couple things where it's like, okay, well, Rock Band. I want to play a drum song because like I actually feel like I'm improving in a skill set or whatever. And I know playing video games is a skill set, but for me personally, I like to play them to have fun. Like, so if the game has fun elements to it, then I like to do that. I don't need to worry about walking away from the game having learned a lesson or discovered myself along the way. I like when it's fun. That's my primary qualifier.
But
So-
like, what's fun for you? Because people find fun in different things.
yeah, I know. Sometimes people find fun in pain.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, and I'm not saying that this is what this person, the original commenter that got this whole conversation going, is saying. I'm just saying I just
Oh boy. Oh boy.
all the wrong way. I don't know. I just need it to be fun to pick up, play, not feel obligated towards, not feel like I'm,
look under this thing?
you just zoom in and then the little
Right trigger?
Yeah,
There
things
you
will
go.
come together.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Boo! Hey, what?
You like pop. Oh shit!
It's funny watching Bruce play with the controller. It looks like just such suffering.
I can't stand it. I
Yeah.
hate it so much.
Well, this is real. It's like molasses. Also, I can't see shit, but I'm so used to playing Overwatch where all the bad people have big red outlines around them and all the good people have big blue
Yeah,
outlines.
I had to
around them.
retrain my eyes to be able to see the
snow
characters
and
in this
stuff.
game.
Yeah.
It's the motion you need to look for, which sucks when somebody's just sitting and
Also,
shooting people.
yeah, also when you're sitting this far away from
Yeah.
a computer monitor.
Nice.
Got him.
But yeah, so I mean, fun for me is being able to not feel too obligated. There's a sense of progression there, but it can just be a narrative progression. It can be a, like Adam said, like an RPG style stat progression.
I don't like this gun.
It just doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like I myself as a person have gained something from this. Like as I don't care because
Oh, yeah, no.
even like Bloodborne. My favorite parts of Bloodborne are when I'm just kind of cruising around the world.
Yeah.
Like moving through. But a lot of people get like their favorite parts of Bloodborne or those types of games are those bosses.
Yeah.
Which
Learning a boss pattern.
learn a boss pattern that is just as complex as like a fucking like Cold War like puzzle that they're using to transport messages that you have to get Russell Crowe to figure out and stuff.
Gladiator?
It's encryption.
So, yeah. And so like it's like I don't need that. Like honestly, the boss battles are my least favorite part of a game like that. And I generally do it in such a way. My favorite way to handle that is to call in someone.
Yeah. Ding ding ding.
Have him who's already leveled up.
Just be the meat
and
shield for
and
you.
also, by the way, the pattern doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care
That's
about
the thing.
pattern.
Every time I call in a buddy, they just get mauled, and I'm like, aren't you supposed to be good? Like you descended from the heavens on a ray of light, and your armor is on fire, and yet still the second boss in the game almost killed you.
Yeah. Oh, even for him though, it created a situation where he didn't have to learn the pattern. He doesn't memorize the
Yeah, he
pattern.
just ground his way
it's not
through it.
necessarily like you play Mega Man and you're like, oh, Electro Man on level 3. I was like, you take him third, so that way you do this and this is
Yeah.
the pattern and this.
And you know
like,
exactly like how to jump and oh boy.
It's
Oh man,
so,
that guy's cool.
It's so complex that it's just a matter of
Slash
like, well,
Incorporated.
I'll learn the pattern once just so I can get through it, and then I'm just going to power myself up so that
Yeah.
way I can just go back and hack and slash at it.
Get enough blood vials
for me,
and throw Molotovs
I'm
until
happy
it
just
dies.
standing by watching them hack and slash, and then I'll throw one Molotov to get the final kill or final hit, and then I'll walk away, and I'll have no regrets at all about that boss battle.
I'm learning to approach it that way. The problem is I guess it's not really a problem, but I do have kind of the gamer's mind as well, where if I hit a boss fight, and I guess even then it's like, I'm probably reading way too much into it, but when I hit that boss fight, I'm like, okay, the designers put this here, and they knew I would have this equipment when I got here. Therefore, they constructed this challenge specifically for me in the state that I'm in right now. So I think like, okay, to experience the game they wanted me to experience it, I need to learn this boss fight, learn exactly the dodge timings, learn exactly the attack patterns, learn how to read all the telegraphs for all this stupid bullshit, learn exactly what its weaknesses are, and through trial and error, I will let you become victorious. No, I've learned that's not feasible, and maybe in some world it is, but Bloodborne And those games, like, they were designed around the internet, and they were designed around people telling each other how to cheese out fights. And like doing that, I've learned that that's the game experience. It's not Mega Man style, where it's a series of stages that have well thought out and practically balanced boss fights that you can feasibly learn how to beat with a very finite set of powers. This is more like, yeah, we threw a bunch of stuff in there, and the internet always figures it out. So
I mean,
guess we're good.
Devil's advocate for them, I would say they planned a larger meta, which is like the whole game, as opposed to levels or what have you. But yeah, there's still sections in that thing where it's like, oh, go down this into the deepest dark dungeon, travel through the sewers, and you'll come up around the backside. Go through the unforgotten cemetery, and then lure the enemy into the quiet swamp, and then you'll be able to fight an opponent. We'll give you a key to get advantage to the next area. Or just save up 20,000 blood and you can buy it in the store. And so it's that kind of thing that I feel like they're like, it's the whole thing. They're gonna work their way through it. Who cares? For me, not exactly. Some of that works to what I look for in gaming, and others just doesn't at all. So
my biggest problem with Battlefront, just to talk about something, this radar fucking bugs the shit out of me.
It's hard.
Well, because it looks identical to Destiny's. But I've been playing a lot of Halo 5, which the radar on that's useless. Because the person has to be breathing on your neck in order for you to see them. This one, I think if the guy is in the video game, you can see him.
It keeps lighting up.
There's shots fired over there, 3 miles to your east.
There's the outer ring and then the inner ring, and the outer is like, is really far away.
Well, like I said, like with Halo, I'm just like, I'm just waiting for. If I even see any red, I'm like, they're next to me. They are next to me. It's like, oh no, he's 4 miles down.
Yeah, don't waste my time with snipers. Who cares?
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me that there's a sniper on the ridge.
Well, you can see like all the lasers coming from that side.
Yeah.
You don't really need that cone because you know exactly where the combat's coming from.
But then it looks identical to Destiny, so now I'm using my sense of like closeness that I would with Destiny with this. I'm just
75 out of 100.
It's throwing my brain off.
This is a piece of shit.
70, 75
Send it
tops.
back.
I wouldn't give this game a score. I don't know. It's like
Adam Metacritic, what score do you give Battlefront?
the same score I'd probably give Candy Crush. I don't know. It's like
I like Candy Crush.
So do I.
But it's basically a slot machine.
That's what I mean. It's an addicting game. That's like
You can
very
be-
This
polished.
is not a slot machine.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah, you can be good at Battlefront.
You can be
You can
good.
be good
tell
at
you this,
Candy Crush.
though.
Well, no, you can't.
No, you can't.
Not
Just
really.
in terms
You
of
can get lucky at
first-person
Candy
shooters, I don't. I have now turned a corner, and it's kind of like when I turned my brain off from inverted, or not inverted by using a mouse and keyboard. I do not understand
He's coming for you.
why assists are a thing.
My assists?
Yeah.
Woo!
What do you mean?
Because having played Overwatch,
Nice
this is
job.
what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 months.
Oh, I
by the
see
way,
what you mean.
comparing all games to Overwatch.
Yeah, it
You
is
get
the
an
perfect
elimination if you participated in the death of an opponent, right? And then it shows you how much you contributed to that death.
True.
Yep.
Assists don't there's 1,000. Adam will shoot a guy 5 times and then get killed, and then some other guy will walk up having just tossed an empty grenade across the air, and he'll get the kill. And then at the end of the match, it says you died 5 times, but you only got 1 kill. And it's like, no, I shot a lot of guys.
Well, you still get
Give me
points.
credit for all of that.
It sorts by points. So
That was a kill assist.
If you get-
it should have just said team kill.
Well, it said plus 47, which means he only got 47 damage.
I know, that's fine
So
though.
he didn't get the majority of the damage, is what I'm saying.
But it doesn't matter.
I mean,
In a
Overwatch
game like
does almost exactly.
I think
what
that's
this
just
does.
It
semantic.
doesn't. It just goes elimination.
Yeah,
Well,
it
no, but
does.
there's
You
a number next.
participated.
There's a number next to this.
There's
How
a
much
number next
damage
to
you
it.
did.
So Overwatch tells you like 15 or 18 or 25 or whatever. That's how much damage you did to the man.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying.
It's just a difference of semantics. And
It is, but I think it's a more rewarding semantics
absolutely
than
is.
this
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
than
you're
this
absolutely
being like this asshole only got 3. And you're gonna look at it, no matter how open your mind is. You're gonna look at the end, and you're gonna see the guy at the bottom of the thing and go, he got 2 kills and he died 23 times.
Well, see, but what if
And you're
that
like-
guy's at the top of the scoreboard because he had the highest score?
Right. So
it sorts by score.
And Battlefront and like Battlefield and stuff, it does sort by score. So you do get scores for assists and things like that.
Theoretically, if you got 90-point assist on every kill in the game, you would have 0 kills but still be the highest
I just
scoring
think
player.
it's very discouraging.
It
I
is.
also think
Absolutely
that
is.
even if you're playing the objective, in a game like this, if
Nice.
you're pushing the
Critical
objective and you're shooting guys along the way,
Oh boy.
watch out for that tilde.
Why is that even enabled?
So you can alter your FOV on the fly,
And
baby!
you're pushing stuff along the way, then you'll
Yes.
you'll end up at the top, but you also have a score that doesn't you also have a number next to your name that doesn't humiliate you. Like Adam got 3 of 3,
But he wasn't playing
but he
objective.
participated in a lot more than just 3 of 3.
Well, so when I play objective-based modes, I typically stick on the objective, and then it constantly drips
That
points
guy
to
again?
you. And I usually end up in the top 5, despite my KD being pretty shitty.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't even need to have a shitty
Well, but
KD.
this sorts by points, so,
Yeah, you're
so
right.
you still get those points, and it
Yeah.
still tells you whether or not, like, because I've been like 2 and 20, and I've had the highest score because I played the objective.
But it sorts by points, but then it still goes kills, column 1.
Yeah, I know what
Deaths,
you mean.
column
I see
2.
what you're saying.
I feel what you
Score,
mean.
column 3. Like there, like I get it. Like
Yeah, the
let's just-
prioritizing.
Let's just
KD.
yeah, let's just worry about us as a team. We're all a team here. Call of Duty can keep the kill counts because those are basically one shots anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, especially in a game like this where you're like bang, 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 bang.
Well, it does sort by score. So again, it always, if you're first, you had the highest score.
Also, I don't think we need sorting anymore. I don't think you need
yeah.
to look at a big list.
Oh man, I love that.
People love that
think-
though.
I don't
think
like
in
the
competitive
list.
I love
shooters,
that
you should
shit.
still have
I
that.
want to see your name on the scoreboard.
But
I don't want to see my name on a
Ooh,
scoreboard.
Kashyyyk.
What are you, communist?
No, I don't care. Also, in Overwatch, they'll give you a little medal,
This is
and they'll be
Endor.
like, just so you know, you were you had the highest of this number.
Tell you what, I
Just
don't,
so you know.
I don't like that. I hate it at the end when I don't get to see where I compare to the rest of the team. I hate that.
Well, you can see where you compare. You just don't see where everyone else was.
That's not a comparison. You just see how you did. You don't see how everybody did. I don't like that. I like to see how I did compared to everyone else.
See, I don't care what anyone else did.
I do.
That's interesting.
And the reason I do.
You want to judge the rest of your team.
Just listen, the reason I do is because I want my team to be also supporting me. So I want to look and be like, oh, okay, this guy actually contributed. Like, he did a bunch of shit. This other guy fucking sucks because he didn't help the team at all.
Well-
so, like, I actually do care,
So-
but I think it's team-based.
in a game like this, where there's a shit ton of people out there, I get that. I guess you want to hold people
Overwatch is
accountable.
totally team-based. It's all
Yeah,
class-based.
but there's 6. So while
Yeah.
you're playing through the map, you're like, this retard is on the other side of the map not doing anything. And that's obvious.
Well-
We have 3 Reapers? What the hell are they doing? Like, so you know while you're playing the game that there's people who are worthless and they're not contributing.
For me, that's more subjective than actually looking at it on a scoreboard and being like, I knew that one motherfucker didn't do anything. So that's the way I feel about it. I would like to prove that guy wasn't doing anything. That's what I'm trying to say.
I guess.
Your Honor, this man sucked.
Yeah.
I guess
was
I don't
Reaper.
need anything at the end of the game
Ugh,
to
Reaper,
say,
guilty.
This person is better or worse than that person.
Oh,
Because if you did really well and you had a really good match, then you had a really good match.
Well, that's for me. I'm talking about team-based. Like if like Overwatch is a team-based game. This is kind of a team-based game. Overwatch really feels like you need to know who is not pulling their weight. Because if there's one dude that's not pulling their, like there's the Reaper in the back that's not doing anything, then you need to know because that guy sucks and you can call him out and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's why the game's infinitely more fun when we all play together instead of playing
Yeah.
with the Randys.
Always.
Like-
Always.
Well, I mean, that's all games. But I feel like I'm much more likely to boot up an Overwatch and play by myself than I would to play this. If we were like, hey, we're going to squad up and
Yeah.
go out, especially because even if we all play together, how much influence can we even have on this monstrosity?
You'd be surprised. I mean, like, if you get a squad of, like, the Battlefield, you could do a squad of 4 guys and you can actually make a difference. This, I'm not really sure about yet.
Yeah, Battlefield definitely.
I
Because
haven't
you
played
can get
this
in a
enough.
helicopter and you can become a death from above
Yeah.
sky machine. This, I
haven't
don't
played
know.
this enough yet.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of like.
Whoa.
Oh, Boba
Oh
Fett.
wow, he's hiding in the brush. There doesn't seem to be a lot of team up, like obviously because it has a partner system too.
Yeah.
He's just like one other dude that you want to buddy
What
up
the
with.
fuck?
Oh, man, Boba Fett's there again.
Like you want to die again, bro?
Nothing.
He just eats
There
a
it goes.
grenade.
Just back into the brush.
Burps.
Man.
See, this is what I was talking about hiding in the woods.
Is he just on the spawn?
So
This isn't a game I'm taking seriously.
yeah.
By the way, we should also call out, like, people always want to know what game we're playing. We're playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah,
playing Star Wars.
I said it at the beginning.
Just so,
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Because I don't have to think when I play it. I'm just like, I'm in Star Wars.
I can
Yeah.
run around and shoot things.
James, I noticed Blizzard's trend of kind of moving focus away from individual players, and you can see it in Heroes of the Storm. For
Yeah,
sure.
Heroes of the Storm does that, which
It's
is
got team levels. so you-
probably my favorite thing about Heroes of the Storm.
Same here. Like, it doesn't show kill score.
I do
And
like that, actually, yeah.
The thing that always drove me nuts is in games like League or Dota or even like Heroes of New Earth, they give you all the stats so you can precisely yell at a single person who may be doing a little less. Like, they're trying real hard. Fuck you, I'm trying.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Heroes of the Storm, I think Blizzard kind of took it on themselves to be like, okay, there are some player behavior problems with these kinds of team games. How can we cut those off? The answer turns out, like, you only reveal certain information to players, so then they start to act based on that information. So if your entire team is at a lower level, it's like, okay, guys, we got to rally, instead of, hey, motherfucker, like, you're not you're not killing enough, but you're like, I'm a healer, dude.
Yeah.
So, you know, I respect that, and that made Heroes a lot more pleasant of an experience, and I think it's also working in Overwatch. That said, I think there are other kinds of players who want a different kind of experience.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think it's wrong, or I don't think there's one right way to do it. I just like that there's a difference now.
I hope that we get to a point in games where you can change the overlay.
Yeah, like
Change it,
what,
and it'll
can.
just say elimination. Like it'll just say, do you want assists to be shown, or do you just want it to say?
like, do you want the score or do you want just elimination?
What do you want? And you can customize the UI based off how fragile your ego is.
I don't know how deep you can get with it, but I know Team Fortress allows you to do some radical changes. And then I remember Blacklight. Because one of the developers was a friend of mine. I was sending him like screenshots of like, this is how you should make your UI, like, because I wanted like a minimalist like style. And then he just showed me this tool that worked for Unreal that was like, oh, this will just allow you to change your UI for like almost anything. And I was like, oh, well, fuck me, I'll just use that. Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Nice, good kill.
What is that? What is that weapon? Is that the Ion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ion Blaster. I don't remember that in the beta.
What's the number in front of that blaster? A380 or whatever it is?
This one?
Yeah.
Fuck if I know, dude.
I'm trying to remember.
You're the
which-
Star Wars nerd.
I know, but I want to know what it is so that I can.
I looked
like,
at the
pick
torture bot the other day.
ETO or ITO or whatever it is.
ETIO or who
The
cares?
interrogation droid.
Yeah.
Doroid.
Whatever.
Droid.
Force Awakens like what? 5 weeks now?
No, a week. Or I'm sorry, a month. A month.
For
you're in your head. It's a week.
It's coming up in a week. No, it's 1 month. It's 1 month.
I've lost all track of that.
Guys, we could just reenact it now.
17th is when it comes.
Make
out.
our own
The
Star
18th
Wars.
is officially its release date.
Did you guys
but I'm
watch
not-
both Star Wars movies last night?
No.
No, we didn't do it.
They just got drunk.
James, you should be proud. Nope, that didn't happen either.
They just drank.
I did Insanity
Wait, what?
and wanted to die, so I just went home
Oh, okay.
and then made thumbnails.
All right. Okay.
Cool.
Okay with that.
I played Fallout.
Just so you know, Elise wants to watch those movies with you, so.
All right.
Ooh.
Just
you can let her
Elise?
know.
I'll tell her to come on
I mean,
over.
I do too, but she was when I said that you guys were staying.
Man, fuck that guy.
When you guys were staying at the office to watch the movie, she was like, "Oh, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Go back to the office and get drunk." Not really.
Well, you don't have to get drunk. You just watch us get drunk. You be our safety. Why don't we just go to your house, James? Because you have a
busy.
Benson.
He just doesn't like Star Wars.
kind of
No,
alcohol do you have?
Just say it out loud, James. You're a fake nerd. We always knew it.
Nerd.
Yeah.
There was one of those. There was
Not
one of those
anime.
edits on YouTube that is the cut down version of 1 and 2 into one movie.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because it starts out like, I have no idea what's going on. And I know those movies aren't necessarily very clear. They're very dense in terms of their politics and backstorying and stuff, especially for movies that are supposed to be backstories for other movies.
Yeah, really.
But it's funny because I was like, this person did a horrible job. They probably think that they improved it, but they actually made these movies worse by taking information out of them that was necessary.
Topher Grace does that.
That's who it was, Topher Grace.
Oh,
He's the one who cut it down?
I don't think this is
He's
Topher.
got one of them.
I don't think this is the Topher Grace edit. I hope it wasn't, because if it is, it wasn't very
It's a
good.
strange thing for a celebrity to like, kind of like pirate a movie and then.
There are people too, Adam.
Well, it's
Yeah, I mean,
because
like,
they have a
weird
lot of
shit.
money and time.
Whoa!
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
when he's like, "Hey, I don't have to do anything for 8 months,"
Yeah.
that's when you take
Oh,
it
boom.
upon
Shit.
yourself.
You're
My
dead,
head,
Like, what the fuck was that?
head,
bro.
ow.
Turned over.
Just wait for your cooldown.
I use my. Yes.
There we go.
down.
Oh, someone else got that kill.
Yeah, why didn't you get any points for that? Some
You
bullshit.
do get points.
He got points
what
when he
did
did
you
the
say?
damage.
Orbital strike.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right.
I'll hide in the waterfall. Save me, Ewoks.
Lawrence, what are we talking about next?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you don't have to
Topher
apologize.
Grace.
Having a good time.
Oh, Topher
yeah.
Grace.
Venom.
Predators.
Oh man, I was so excited for Spider-Man
He
3.
was also an Interstellar. Remember?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 was great. And I was like, they're gonna do Venom now? Awesome! No.
I was one of those guys.
Who was he in Interstellar?
He was Jessica Chastain's boyfriend. He shows up in like the last half of the movie, and he's like, "Also, I'm in this movie."
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
cool.
Yeah, you're right. Weird.
That happened actually with a few actors.
We can just talk about Predators if you guys
They
want.
go to the what?
I'm talking about Interstellar.
Oh,
That's what Bruce asked.
Yeah.
I'm answering the question that was asked. Sorry, because you guys are talking about
Kind of
Spider-Man. now.
like the other Affleck was in it too.
Yeah, Casey
Like,
Affleck.
forgot about
Or
him.
What are you
no,
doing here?
The other Affleck.
You just came to show
Affleck?
off your beard and complain.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, I am a farmer. Dad said farm.
No one heard that.
Now I farm.
There's dust everywhere. I farm dust now.
I'm mad.
Corn's gone.
Rise of the Tomb Raider did not sell that well.
Oh.
At least that's according to somebody who works for PlayStation. So
That
that's
was in the UK though,
kind of
right?
amusing.
Only-
Yeah.
only
He's
in
like,
the
it's not
UK.
selling on PlayStation.
Yeah, we haven't sold any copies.
and
They can't be doing well.
And while they were called out on their tone and subsequently like half apologized for it, here's basically the exchange. PlayStation senior product manager Chris Brown tweeted that that Rise of the Tomb Raider only sold 63,000 units in the UK, and then Drive Club game director Paul Raczynski, replied, quote, "Don't worry, Tomb Raider will do just fine next year when it's released on PS4 next year." Winky face. So I'm like, a little tasteless, dude. They made a really good game, but still.
You played it, right?
Yeah, I love it. I am having Rise of the Tomb Raider is actually really, really, really good. I'm having a great time with it so far. It's just a bummer, like, this so far seems to be the second Xbox exclusive that hasn't really taken off, because Sunset Overdrive, I really, really enjoyed. I thought it was a fantastic game, and like not enough people played it really. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen with Rise of the Tomb Raider as well. Furthermore, I'm really hoping that doesn't happen with all Xbox exclusives, because Microsoft is really trying. They're throwing a lot of money at a lot of good projects, and it kind of sucks that they're not being rewarded with any retail success.
Well, they have a lot to make up for.
They also kind of, they positioned themselves.
It did launch next to Fallout 4.
Oh, that.
There's
Yes.
that.
I was also I'm just gonna say this tone that they set with the Xbox One from the very beginning was that it's a cable box too. You watch football on it.
Yeah.
So you
Snap it out.
when you go look at our games and you do that, a couple of years after the fact, it's still not going to change that you kind of birthed this thing to be something else.
Don't unlock anything like that. Don't use my credits on that stuff.
I'll be a female.
Yeah, it's crazy because I think now the legacy of some very poor decisions are really starting to kick in.
Yeah.
They kicked in from the beginning because the unit sales were low, but now even Phil Spencer came in and, God damn it!
Hey, stop
everybody.
fucking with our shit!
That doesn't ever help. Just they always switch it and they go, oh, they didn't do anything. They switch it back.
Yeah, I know.
It's always funny for the video.
But yeah, it makes for fun. People keep turning our lights off.
Yeah.
Anyway, because the switch is outside.
Outside the door. It's
And then
weird.
people are just like, what does this do?
Yeah.
It's kind of adorable.
And then we yell at them because there's always new people walking through here. Look at his boots, they're all dirty.
But I feel like Phil Spencer kind of inherited an entire division that was geared to do something else other than be games focused, and he was like, no, we got to fix this. And he fixed it as much as he possibly could have, but you still have all the silicon and chips and plastic, and all of that stuff was designed from the ground up to be a multi-purpose entertainment device.
I'm realizing how useless the HDMI pass-through is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use it as just a gaming machine. Like, I
would love to see like usage numbers on how many people actually use the pass-through.
I can count on just one hand, but how many times I've had capture issues, like moving Xboxes, and I go,
Because you plug it into the
I'm
wrong
like,
one?
oh, it's in the wrong one.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
stupid of me.
I've noticed that my Xbox turns off the sound system that I have.
It's an all-in-one perfect system.
It turns it off anytime the Xbox turns
because
on.
the Kinect.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So,
unplug
but
your
it's
Kinect.
like these things. These are just like
Chuck your
things-
Kinect in the garbage.
So now it's
Don't
just like
unplug the Kinect.
you never want to buy something. You want something to streamline things for you, and you never
Mm-hmm.
want to buy something that like. Now it's a
hindrance.
new hurdle that I have to accommodate in my habits of whatever.
That's
There
what
is a
they,
dumbass
that's what they
setting.
marketed it as. Is like this is the one. I think the marketing tagline was the last hurdle, and now it's a new hurdle.
yeah.
So yeah, that's
But-
unfortunate.
But yeah. So I mean, when you're like, hey, look, check out our exclusive games,
that guy.
and it's.
Whoa!
I'm Han Solo. You're not Han Solo.
I would also
sir.
say, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. Wild speculation. I think Rise of the Tomb Raider is a horrible title. It's the second game. The last one was the Rise of the Tomb Raider. Because she came back, and it was
then Rose.
that makes sense. Like a phoenix, we are restarting this franchise again.
Yeah.
You don't
True.
call the second one Rise of the Tomb
That's a
Raider.
good point.
She's
You call it
rising.
Tomb Raider Returns or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Retribution.
make it sound
What
like
else
the
we
first.
got? Like what's in the pile of?
Well, the vibe I'm getting from Rise of the Tomb Raider so far, to justify the title, even though I haven't finished it and I don't know if this is the case, but it does seem like Lara's
I know.
nodding
it's-
enthusiastically.
But it's a narrative justification, and that
Yes.
doesn't matter for marketing.
Well, I mean, it fits in a few other things. Like, from a mechanics perspective, she feels like a more able.
Right, she's become
Adventurer?
we get that, but
Yeah, yeah.
but again, like in terms of like a name that people want to hear.
Yeah, like a
terms of
marketable
people
name.
One, you have it's only coming out for one console, right?
Yeah.
So it's only going to be on one platform.
Well,
so you're
it-
already kind of like it's a smaller thing.
Eventually, it'll come to PS4.
Yeah, I know. But right now,
And it's on
this is the
X-
numbers we're counting for
gonna
right
be on
now.
PC.
Well,
But
it's also on
months.
360, which I found out when the developer came in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh.
that was kind of confusing. I was like, oh wow, and he's like, yeah, we are utilizing the power of the Xbox One, all this stuff. And I was like, cool. So Xbox One exclusive? Oh no, it's on 360. Like then wait, what? I guess they had to downscale it on. Is that a man?
Uh-oh. He surrendered.
That's Han Solo.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the hero.
But yeah, so I think that's confusing. I think some person, obviously we get it. We're in the industry, we hear these things all the time, but you're trying to sell to a mass audience, and when you name it something that sounds like whatever the last one would have been called, I think people are going to walk into a store. No mom or grandmother is going to walk into a store and necessarily see run out there to get Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Well, then also, if you're making a priority list, let's do the 4 games that came out: Battlefront, Tomb Raider, Call of Duty, and Fallout. I think Tomb Raider falls kind of on the to the bottom there.
Fallout 4 also makes perfect sense for the grandmother because she will see a 3 and then she'll see a 4 and she'll not see a 5, so she'll get the 4.
This is that new Call of Duty you wanted, right? Is this Madden? Sure, Mom. Whatever.
Oh, you hit
This doesn't matter. It's casual.
So I think that might be an issue.
Yeah, numbers sell. I get it though. Like they don't want to make the same mistakes as the last one.
Well, I think.
Remember what did we play? We're like Tomb Raider 4, the 4th one.
Legends Osiris.
Four times.
The reason that this game is going to be on like Xbox One initially is because they gave them money to do that. So they made money to do that. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's theoretically possible that this game would not have been greenlit had Xbox not kicked in a bunch of money to pay for exclusivity.
And hopefully it sells on PS4 when it comes out in a year. And if it sells on PS4, they'll make another one. Yeah. So I think Tomb Raider, because like it was the same exact story came out when the first Tomb Raider came out 3 years ago. Everyone's like, it's not selling well, we don't know what to do. And then after a while, sales picked up steam. And everyone's like, guess what, guys, we sold a ton. And
it sold like 14 million copies, and they're like, we've almost made our money back.
Yeah.
Like, how much did you put into this thing?
Well, it was a really beautiful game and probably took a long time to make, the reboot.
And think about, like to Bruce's point, think about how much they must have been paid by Microsoft. Think about how much they must have been paid to convince a developer to say, for the first year, you can only sell maybe half as many units as you were planning to sell.
Probably less than half.
So think about that. That's a lot of money to justify the cost of production and stuff. So I'm saying like.
And as much as people, I can understand from a consumer's perspective why you'd be like, fuck you, Microsoft. It's because you did this that I don't get to play it on PS4 right now.
That's not a man.
It might be.
I tend to think of it, or rather I want to believe that it's more like, well, it's because Microsoft did that the game came out at all. And
maybe.
I don't know.
I think that's a fat maybe.
I think the big thing to remember.
It wouldn't be it could be coming to PS4 if that was a.
I don't know about no. You can pay for an exclusivity window. I'm sure that was in the I'm sure that was in the negotiations. Microsoft was like, we'll give you $10 million to make this an exclusive. And they're like, no way in hell.
Street Fighter's coming to only PlayStation and PC, right?
Yeah. Well, Capcom probably is more willing to play ball because when it comes to fighting game communities, like PlayStation has always got it locked down. So I'm sure that for Capcom at least, their multi-unit sales for Xbox are probably so low that they're just like, we can walk away from the 500,000 units we might sell in exchange for the 15 million Sony's kicking us just to keep this exclusive. I could see that, and it's a judgment call every time, and I've never nice. Like they turn around, fuck you.
This is my kill.
No, I've never been in those meetings, so I can't profess to have any experience about it. But just the vibe that developers send out sometimes when they're talking candidly about their projects. It's like it's always. I mean, it's business. It's money. That's what keeps everything turning. And nobody like makes these decisions because of feelings, like because they like one platform over the other. They are like
it's all about money.
Yeah. To me, whenever a developer speaks about what they do, they're like, I just want to make games. Like I don't care about platform. I do to the extent it affects my job as a developer. But whoever is willing to pay for this to exist. They're paying me my salary to do what I do, which is make games. So I'm all right with that.
Kind of like what we do.
We've talked about this 100 times, but it just goes back to there's a lot more that goes into what makes a game profitable and what makes a game worthwhile to make for the developers and stuff than just how many units it sells. I don't know.
Yeah.
The games industry is a lot more complex than you can imagine.
It's just like a movie. You need a lot of money up front.
Yeah, active pull down there.
Like each game, the way I've started looking at games and movies. I mean,
R in the yellow thing.
To be honest, you should have looked at this a long time ago. So I'm kind of unwise to do this, but they are little businesses. They're little small businesses. They need a bunch of venture capital up front in order to actually do what they're doing. And so Rise of the Tomb Raider probably needed $15-20 million just to start. Because they're like, well, it's going to take us 2 years, and we're going to have a staff of 150 people. So we're going to need this much money to develop this game. And they got it from Microsoft. They're like, okay, yeah, we can give you $20 million up front to do this. Like, just got to make your money back in 3 years or 5 years or whatever. So it's just like a little business. It's just like a small business that they're actually running. And it's very difficult to run a small business. Very, very difficult.
Yeah. I get worried because like Crystal Dynamics is a fantastic developer. I want them to make games forever. I've basically enjoyed their entire catalog, like going back to Soul Reaver and the original Tomb Raider and stuff like that. It's rare that a developer has quietly been around that long making awesome. Insomniac is kind of the same way, and this is the Sunset Overdrive parallel that I'm kind of drawing here. Like they're really great and have made a shitload of awesome games, and I don't have any information about this, but I wonder. I mean, they're doing the Ratchet and Clank remake, and there's the movie, but I haven't heard anything else, and I'm getting a little worried. I'm hoping that Sunset Overdrive didn't put them so far in the hole that they're having trouble now, because that would be a damn shame, because that game was fucking great. But that's the business sometimes, Sometimes just the market position doesn't agree. And furthermore, with Sunset Overdrive, they probably came to that agreement before they even knew what the unit sales would be for the Xbox and PlayStation.
Absolutely.
They were like, man, so we got this new IP, we shopped it around. Sony's saying just make more Ratchet and Clank, or what is the shooter they made? Did they make one?
Yeah,
Am I confusing them with
Resistance.
Resistance? That was them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so they might be like, no, we need a PlayStation 4 Resistance. And they're like, no, we're done with that. We want to make something new. We want to make something colorful and bright and happy. And Sony was like, no, we need shooters. This is all just theory, again. So I could see the conversation being like, we just need somebody to fund this. And like 2K said no. But Microsoft Game Studios, they're interested because they need to get exclusives for their new Xbox.
Yeah,
so
they're looking for games.
We just want to get this project out there. We want to launch a new IP, which is one of the hardest things to do. And arguably, you could say the reboot of Tomb Raider was along the same lines. It had the brand power of Tomb Raider, but what was the one before that? Was it Underworld? And there wasn't.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, right.
There was a Angelina Jolie movie that was tied to it at some point.
Cradle of Life or something like that.
Oh dear God.
That was a long time ago though. That was around anniversary.
Are we talking about the movies, Tomb Raider?
Legends.
That's around the time when it was like mass penetration of
when Tomb Raider was like getting close to a household name.
Yeah. It was becoming a joke.
I kind of feel the same way. Like if you're gonna re-kickstart an old game series. I know some people would go nuts over this, but say you were to bring back Crash Bandicoot as like a AAA game franchise. You could take that to anyone and they'd be like, what? No.
Who?
Yeah. Give him a gun, maybe, and we'll talk.
Naughty Dog was pretty quick to get rid of it. They're like, here, Activision, you have it.
Yeah, they evolved with the tech.
I do kind of wish Sony would buy that back, though. I like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah? I actually never played them.
I played Crash 1 through 3. I enjoyed those ones, but
Kickstart it.
I was gonna say I was kind of.
So you didn't play like
Go
Crash
full
Team
ukulele.
Racing and stuff? Because isn't Crash 1 through 3 all the major crashes?
There's like some weird knockoff ones.
I think there's
Wrath
a
of
lot of guys
Cortex
over
or
there.
Some of those
something.
bombs
There's a
in there,
lot of
man.
guys.
Nice. See, look at that. Turbo laser
God.
destroyed.
You did
Victory!
it,
Do I get the?
Adam. You did it.
Yeah, play
It's
the
called
game.
a turbo laser.
No, Crash Bandicoot. I was always actually kind of confused that they never made it into like a temple run type game. I was like, huh.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
fit.
Crash Bandicoot only has like 2 moves. He just jumps
Spin,
and moves
jump.
forward. I guess you could spin too. I mean, they
Gotta break those crates.
kids don't know who the fuck Crash Bandicoot was. He was a mascot for PlayStation at one point.
He's rude and crude and extreme. And
He was
wears-
never rude or crude. He didn't say a word.
Where's
He was
denim
pretty
shorts.
nice, and he respected old cultures.
Oh my gosh, Crash
pretty
Bandicoot.
cool.
I don't want to talk about Crash Bandicoot anymore.
I like Crash Bandicoot.
Anyway, next topic.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
Tomb Raider's gonna do fine.
Crash
hopefully.
Bandicoot HD. Actually, speaking of old games nobody cares about, Twilight Princess HD is coming out. Ah!
Are you excited about that?
I love bringing up anything vaguely related to Nintendo just to see everybody deflate.
I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play through the whole game again.
Yeah.
I completed that game pretty thoroughly the first time.
So they're just redoing
I'm guessing
it?
Wind Waker HD like sold pretty well, so they're like, fuck it.
I
Do the next one.
didn't watch the whole thing. What are they doing to take advantage of the Wii Pad? Anything?
I mean,
Nothing?
I assume it's going to be the same as Wind Waker
they
HD.
forgot they
where it's
have a
like-
Wii Pad.
I mean, you can like move your inventory around, and it is faster to just use your
Yeah.
finger to drag shit around instead of like going D-padding through the menus.
Yeah.
And then alternatively, when you're in dungeons, you can just have the map on your lower screen. So it makes the game screen cleaner, and if you ever want to look at the map, you just look down. I mean, it's minor shit. It's not transformative.
I thought the
but it
bigger
is a
story was
little-
that Cloud was coming to Smash Bros.
Yeah, there's that. Now it's like it's impossible to make jokes about Smash Brothers. I guess you could say Goku is the last one.
I think it's funny. Yeah, I love it because people. I saw a lot of people just in general on Reddit and on the internet go
Superman?
like, called it. It's like That's just because you like are a nerd
my gosh.
and you just say whatever name pops into your Crash Bandicoot and Smash Brothers. So now, if 6 years it happens, I called it. Okay.
We all. Yeah, we
List
all.
them all.
You didn't call anything. All right.
Yeah. We all. I mean, I was 12 once. It was cool.
I was 12.
What
Yeah.
if they put Solid Snake in Smash Brothers?
What if they made
Maybe
it?
put Shenmue.
Yeah.
Oh, Shenmue.
Ryo Hazuki.
Oh, cool. They got to be heroes.
He's in Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed already.
He's not very good.
I don't know. I thought it
Not
was just
even
more
that.
telling that it probably means Nintendo and
Uh-oh, there he is.
Square are talking
around.
They've
about
always been
doing some
talking.
sort of deal.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of them.
I don't
Maybe
know.
for the
Well,
NX.
I mean,
that's what I mean. The NX is going to be announced at E3.
I think
so
likely.
so they were. I mean that much we already knew. Square's talking about bringing Dragon Quest XI to the NX. So
I think it has more to do with the
Switch
fact that, like we were talking about, how these
Uh-oh.
devs
Oh, boy.
make how these devs make their money to justify the cost of the games is more complex than just selling copies.
Yeah.
So they're going to license out cloud because they're unsure about the sales numbers for Final Fantasy 15 or whatever, and so they'll do this, and then the development costs to get onto the PlayStation 4, the Final Fantasy VII remake or whatever. I mean, these are the different pieces that all factor in.
Sure.
You know, that we don't see happening because these are really big companies. Nice
Right.
work, Heroes.
Yeah, they were great.
it can be the sort of thing where, like for Square, Final Fantasy is its own division.
Yeah.
And as long as that division reports a profit, they get to do whatever they want. And part of
Yeah.
that can be licensing out cloud for fucking Smash Brothers. And if you were like the division head of Final Fantasy, you do that stuff because you're kind of playing chess. You're like, okay, we want to put out 15 and we want it to be different and new because people are fucking sick of Final Fantasy because we're on 15. So we're taking a market risk here and we're putting out some weird like open world, like car driving bro game that is nothing like anything else in the series.
Right?
Oh yeah, you can lay down power ups
Yeah.
and stuff as Leia.
Trying to learn her.
So in exchange for taking that market risk, we're going to give these nerds a Final Fantasy VII remake like they keep bellowing that they want, and we're going to get easy money by licensing cloud for Smash Brothers. And so at the end of the year, they're still in the black, and all like when they go to their like end of the year managers meeting, the Final Fantasy dude is like, "We made a shitload of money off Final Fantasy this year," and everybody's like, "Good, do it again." And they're like, "No problem." So then that person still gets what they want. They put out a new product. Ostensibly, it still has Final Fantasy attached to it, but this is the cup and shell game. This is business.
Yeah, I'm wondering
Like
because
cup and ball, whatever. Shell game.
Because they said Final Fantasy VII, the remake is going to come to what's it called, PlayStation 4 first.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's Nintendo's trying to do some sort of
I was
deal.
going to say, is it going to go to all platforms?
I'm telling. No, it's.
I imagine.
Stay in Sony, right?
The one thing we know about is Dragon Quest with NX, and that's a big
Yeah.
deal in Japan, at least.
We don't even know what the remake is, do we?
No,
No,
nothing.
we don't.
Nothing.
Yeah, well,
All we know is like the combat system's not going to be menu based, and Nomura's not working on it,
Yeah.
or not directing it. He
That's
didn't
it.
really. He wrote the story for 7, but I don't think he directed 7.
Bruce is excited about Final Fantasy.
Whoa, slow down, Bruce.
I'm excited for
You'll
the.
get it eventually.
I'm excited for the
For the
remake to
second
come out, and for like everyone who played the game back in the day to be like, yes, beautiful, perfect, this is amazing, and everyone who didn't play to be like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna play it. I think this time around.
really
At least
excited for you to do
I'd
that.
like to, just because I'm curious to see if it's any different, or if I like get into it a little more.
It won't be.
I don't think you will. I don't think you will.
nice
man.
job.
You sure about that?
I don't think you will.
The music was
man.
really good.
Yeah.
I really
think so.
want to.
It's super,
Midgard was cool.
I want to know. like,
what does this do?
oh, you
He
missed
missed him.
him.
He
Did he
dodged it.
deflect that?
No, you just missed.
Yeah.
Run!
Oh boy, you're in
Oh,
a bad spot.
shit.
You gotta go.
Oh,
I gotcha.
I was wondering, I was turning around like,
I know.
yeah. I don't know, dude. I mean, like, that was the game I played because I didn't have access to anime. I mean, that was so I don't
Yeah.
see you playing it, Bruce.
Like I said,
excited.
I'd like to give it a shot only because I want to know why.
Bruce likes
everyone
anime.
else
Bruce loves anime.
I actually do watch a shit ton of anime, and I have for a very long time. So
I can't put you in the body of an 11-year-old who doesn't have access to anything
true.
from Japan in the
Try it.
90s
Hey.
and go, here you go.
I say try it, but if you get to a point where you're like, I'm not feeling it anymore, walk away and you will not really have lost. I don't think you will really have lost anything. I think those of us that played it at the right time got exactly what we were supposed to get out of it. You know, for me, I was never into fantasy, but I did like sci-fi, and so the game tricked me into liking fantasy, which is probably one of its better skill sets.
That's a good way of putting it.
And so that's one of the main benefits
boy.
of that game. It also kind of got me into like deeper game experiences.
Oh,
Like there had been games that you could play for several hours. I played Suikoden before I played Final Fantasy,
Fuck yes.
but I hadn't really gotten huge into it. Whereas Final Fantasy, I was like, well, I got to get the gold chocobo. Like I've got to defeat Emerald Weapon. I got to do everything. So like there was a lot of value to it in terms of me as a gamer. But you probably have already come to those conclusions about the kinds of games you like to play and what you like to do when you play games, and so you might not need it. As it's like putting wheels on your bike, training wheels on your bike after you already kind of know how to learn how to do a bike. So why do you need the training wheels? But we'll see. I say try it, but if you get to a point you're like, I'm bored of this, just walk away.
I'm curious what it's going to look like more than anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If it's different, then
that has
maybe
the greatest potential. At least, at least for the Midgard section. A lot of people remember that game really fondly, but they pretty much only remember Midgard. And then Canyon was cool, I guess.
And then the Nintendo, they showed the newest Zelda
cool.
for 15 seconds.
Labyrinth of the Ancients was all right.
They
showed Link
Zelda?
sitting on a horse.
Yeah.
And then it said 2016.
That was
Linkle. How do you guys feel about Linkle?
Who's that?
It's female Link.
Female Link. Apparently, you can play as a female Link.
Why is her name
Wait,
Linkle?
what? When was that?
That's what a lot of
said?
people are wondering.
So it's interesting because
they came out and said, no, that's not it, idiots.
What?
Like, chill out.
What are you talking about?
People thought it was. People thought Link was female.
Oh, you mean in the no?
In the trailer? This is new information.
Is something else. Yes, this was in the new direct.
I didn't watch.
There's a character named Linkle, and it is Lady Link.
Oh,
and
not Tingle?
it's interesting to follow the conversation around it. I'm not going to say that I'm particularly qualified to comment on these things, but there are a lot of people who are dissatisfied. A lot of women who are dissatisfied with Linkle because apparently it falls into the Ms. Male trope, where you just take a male character and make it a woman.
Got it.
Oh.
I've read some of the things. The only reason that doesn't resonate with me is Link is not a man. Link is a dude, is male by default, but he doesn't talk and he doesn't do anything. He's just
He's fucking bitches.
He's a
No.
an avatar.
No.
He's
Yeah.
an avatar for the player.
he is a personalityless husk that you play through. So I don't understand.
I ain't seen his cock.
Yeah, basically. I don't understand why it's so insulting to just have that be female now, because it wasn't anything as a male in the
maybe
first
because
place.
we're men.
Well, I was gonna
That's
say,
true.
Maybe the fact that the initial proclivity is to give him a masculine feature set or anything.
Sure,
like
I
that,
understand
and
male's
then do
default, and
that.
that's a
It's
problem.
So then, I get that. I don't know.
I think they want him to be they want her to be an entirely new character.
But Link's not a character.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
thing.
There's no personality
he's a
trait about
husk.
Link.
I just think Linkle's a stupid name.
It is a
and
stupid-
sounds
really
too
dumb
much.
name.
It sounds too much like what's the other guy's name?
Tingle.
Tingle.
Yeah.
Tingle, who's basically the perv of the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a
Walks around
weirdo.
in
He's not like
bodysuit.
he's just weird. He's
Sounds
not
a
a
lot
pervert.
like that.
Yeah.
He's more of. I think he was meant to be like I was playing through Majora's Mask again. He kept talking about. He's like, I have magazines that my dad doesn't approve of.
Oh, shit, really?
I don't want to. Well, no, it's more of like he's like an anime nerd or something like that.
Yeah, he's a dork.
He's like a weeaboo type. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, he's the Japanese adult who never grew up, and this is sort of the.
There was confetti.
Oh, yeah, and he goes, ha ha. Like, and I was like, I always thought he was gay as a kid. I was like, oh, look at him. He's like, it's Japanese homosexual, ha ha. And then I was like, oh no, this is just like a Japanese culture
It's a
thing.
normal Japanese man.
Yeah. After seeing what was his name? Damn it, the leather studded dude from
Hard gay?
Hard Gay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh no, that's how the Japanese see gay. They go crazy.
Yeah.
Or it's just like, Tingle is not gay.
Well, we did it.
We did it.
We made it all the way through
Can
Dude Soup.
we call the episode Overwatch? Tingle is not gay.
Speaking of Japanese, One Punch Man is the greatest anime.
Oh yeah.
Currently airing. I don't want to,
James says watch One Punch Man.
One Punch Man
And also Fargo.
and Fargo.
Good job, everybody.
There's too much to watch and there's
I
too much to
I
play.
just helped all of you.
The holidays
I made
are-
your weeks better.
Tough.
The holidays are tough.
Holidays are tough.
Too much to watch.
Damn entertainment.
Also, Assassin's Creed Syndicate came out, and I'm like not very far. Bruce was cringing the whole time. I saw him, or maybe he was trying to not throw up.
It was both.
So this is also for me the first time I can think of where the tone of James Bond has changed within an era. Right?
yeah,
so
yeah.
each era is the actor performing it, right? This is the first time where the tone has shifted within an era. So when there is another Daniel Craig James Bond movie, it can be whatever it wants to be. And that's awesome because normally we've gotten to this habit where it's like, well, we have to recast James Bond. We have to wait 6 years until people have kind of forgotten about the tone that we set forth before we can change it and do it a different way. And it's like, no,